What's going on, everybody? Y4SO here, and welcome to Final Circle, your one-stop you need to see everything that's going on with Series E Apex Legends and everything going on with the Apex community as a whole. I am your host, as always, and super excited for this week's show. We've got a ton to talk about, a crazy week in Series E this week, some fun for our old friend Farmer Lucas, and some roster madness in the competitive scene. Let's check it all out. Now, for those of you that may be new, Series E breaks down like this, okay? Series E is a professional Apex Legends open circuit that absolutely anyone can join. We have 9 squads that qualified for this season through either our open qualifiers prior to the season or based on their placement in Season 2 of Series E. Those teams have now been drafted and signed by our 9 partnered brands, and each player now makes $750 a month salary, as well as competes weekly for points and prize money every Tuesday night against other open squads just like they used to be themselves, and then every single Wednesday against some of the best pros in North America. If you and your squad want to get in on the action, make sure to head over to matcherino.com/ESA for a shot at being a future Series E Pro. Now, our weekly schedule breaks down like this. We compete every Tuesday and Wednesday night, obviously open night on Tuesday, pro night on Wednesday, and all of the action kicks off at 4 p.m. Pacific time. And then Final Circle always lives right here at twitch.tv/esports arena at 5 p.m. Pacific every single Friday. Now, it was Cheez-It week here in Series E for this latest week, and we kicked things off with open night on Tuesday. Team Intel has dominated the past 2 Tuesday nights, and we're looking to make a three-peat here this week. Meanwhile, Team Razor was looking to have a bounce-back performance after a couple of down weeks, and Cheez-It was obviously looking to perform during their sponsored week. Meanwhile, Sniper Meta returned with a couple of familiar names from Series E past, being Blight and Rolders. The action was fun. Let's check out how it all went down.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to Series E. They're going to be dropping these players pretty easily as Pop-Tart's getting a fight over towards the Overlook side, and I believe they're not looking too hot right now. Going to be a couple knocks on each side as you see Exile trying to make some angles with the wingman. Does have a digi threat, so feeling pretty good about that one. Going to have to clamber up and see what's happening to his teammates that's getting thirsted. They're trying to fight inside the bubble. Really nice shots right there onto Crispy Bacon.
They want to beat them to the choke point. That might just happen. Looks like Octane wanting to up the tempo here. Ends up absolutely ripping the shield of the player. Ends up even hitting a little bit of flesh, and he's not done yet. He's got a full send. Peacekeeper in hand, kicking down the door. You know he's feeling good right now. And Gibby just holding things down. There it is. The Peacekeeper coming in 24, and I believe that's going to be a knock. Gibby ends up going down. He's going to up the tempo once again, gets right into Spear's face. Beautiful plays, and that's going to give...
For Rockstar, the only thing that's positive for Rockstar right now is they have Crummy there with the gold armor if they really want to heal, but there's a full set with the bubble. Elstar is putting in work. That's going to be Boxy T getting knocked. Crummy there with the Prowler, trying to fend off 2 players. He does have the Scout in hand, but just a sliver of... Oh, he survives. Does he armor swaps, but it doesn't matter. He's building, waiting, playing Caustic and their team on the roof. Such a tough spot for Team Pringles to be in, but they're staying alive as long as possible. They even get a knock right there onto Protectful, who overextended throughout all of that onto the roof. Now they're going to full send Bubble onto the opposite side of the zone where it's going to end. BDP now eating a lot of damage as well. First, he's going to come through. Last person alive on his team, trying to go for the 1v1, and they're not going to take it. Sniper Meta actually... Yeah, this is that 50-50 on that Overlook side where Lion won the fight previously, but now they're full setting Mastiff in hand. Proficiency with the tracking right there. Proficiency for sure, as they're going to drop another one. Now we're in a one-on-one situation here. Who is the last player on this team? It's going to take him out at this point, and Crummy actually gets knocked again. Not that surprising. I was expecting Aves to maybe put down a little bit more cover fire here. He put the defensive bombardment down, but look at the Yeet bubble coming through. This team is playing this very well. This is going to be Team Cheez-It coming through. There's the knock though coming in on both sides, and now it's up to Golden. Golden is one of our strongest. We can't really rely on the Valkyrie. And yeah, I mean, that's just, again, another really tough spot to be in on your rotation. Anytime you're on the slow ground, you're going to be dealing with some serious issues from all these teams up top. And then you're not expecting another team to be down low either. That's going to be Team Pringles, who's been playing this spot for quite some time. into basically no man's land. He's going to be eliminated fairly shortly throughout all this. Team Cheez-It still trying to focus this team that's been gatekeeping over towards the side the entire time. Nice spray from Finicky. He's doing a great job with the shields that he's been handed. He's going to drop Blight as well, and what a bait and switch coming in. Who actually dropped Team Pop-Tarts earlier over towards that overlooked side. And now comes the aggression coming in from Cheez-It. They're not letting this reset happen. Nice spray coming in and nice shotgun shots there with the EVA 8. Finicky, excuse me, has been the MVP for his team so far, possibly for the entire game if they can get this done.
And Kubsky trying to get away with his life, but he ends up queuing out, but it looks like he's going to get hunted down, and we're down to 2 squads, 3v3. The kill leader going to Finicky, but can he add 3 more to drop down his in, and that's going to be it. Cheez-It!
Back into this one, we'll see if they can pick things up in game number 3. And you know what? We might as well just have the zone end here, okay? Because all the teams are just fighting in this spot. Let's just play King of the Hill. Everybody fight at this specific spot. We'll see who's the best fighter.
Catch me top mid and let's duke it out. We've
Top
been
mid
on
only.
what, 2 minutes? We're 2 minutes and we're already down to 16. 63 on that gold shielded player. His teammates are pushing in heavy. I think things are looking good for Intel. They might come out the winner on this one. They're looking confident.
Things are looking good until a third party comes through, so we'll see how fast they can end this fight, and that's why they need to send it now. But all of a sudden, a great play from Crispy Bacon is going to throw things a little bit more difficult in the Intel side, and all
Advantage. We're going to find out if they can take advantage of all the hype that they have. They're sitting right above this team, and the third party's be coming in soon and getting maximum value out of that ult. Gibby is feeling good, just letting them know all of the hit markers, but they're in between 2 different teams.
Yeah, so what they're trying to do is they're trying to finish this team off as fast as possible while worrying about the team on the side. They've been able to do that, and now, in my opinion, they have a huge advantage because they have a lot of different angles that they could use, and this team is all filtered in to one angle. They have to charge directly out all in the same spot. Right now for Team Razor, they could take a couple of different head glitches. They could use this truck, they could use one right here, which Mercy's doing. This is all Team Razor's game to lose.
And I'm so happy for Razor because at one point in time, their Seer player was actually disconnecting, but it looks like he's back, but not with much health here because he's going to go down, and so does Gibby Octane to be the final player here. Getting player's life, and that's going to be it. Lethal enough. Seer not having the amount of movement to get out of it. Rockstar still having all 3 of their players alive, and they are ripping shields, and oh, that's going to be a squad. We're down to 16.
As that thing's going to cycle back and forth, but hey, this looks like some free kills. Rockstar going to go and take down just Gibby. 3 sitting ducks down here in the corner, just waiting to be taken out as soon as this bubble goes away. There goes the Seer information. You're going to be able to see that gold armor is not going to last very long. That Gibby's going to be taken down as well. And it's not going to continue to stop as Raw Fissure is a highly contested spot as the zone continues to pull out over there. Pop-Tarts going up against Y4SO. Nox coming in on both sides. Z Davis taking down a lot of shields. Does toss out a nice thermite. That's going to be taking some damage, also giving information on where those players are going to be. And there it is, the finish coming through. Will they be able to get the res on the line before the third party comes around the corner? Team Pringles is there.
Team Pringles in the air indeed, and here comes the massive shots coming out of Gibby, hitting all of them. The bubble comes in, trying to take down the player. Octane trying to get out, but it's not going to matter here. Whips out the charge.
So there's an early bubble coming in from the enemy team. That should give them the advantage. If they want to put their bubble here in the next couple of seconds, they're going to be living it up. They may even want to toss it now, as that black hole did come through. So I do like that, but they are getting sent on over towards the side. Enemy bubble coming through on the players that they already knocked previously. That is not good for Team Intel. However, Y4SO Joe does get a knock over towards the side. That means he has to reload. That means resources have been spent, and that means you have an opportunity to push up if you're Rolls. Where's the rest of the pressure coming in from Intel? Dupe's going to get knocked. The rest of the players starting to push up on RKT side, and it looks like Intel is going to take the game, and we get
keep that team a little bit, going an excellent nade. More damage coming down, so it looks like we're going to be down to 19 squads very soon here, Todd.
Oh, I'm really glad to see someone use the wingman. I mean, it's still my favorite gun in the game, and possibly one of my favorite guns that we've ever seen in any game next to the Halo 1 pistol. So, love to see Mercy put that thing to use, ripping some shields there on
player from BDP. So not only are they holding down that building, but they're even getting some early damage in.
I would love to see them troll with a portal here. They could potentially portal in right to where the end of that bubble is and do some serious damage and be third-partying this fight. That would have been a great opportunity to get involved here. Instead, they're feeling really good about being in this position. I mean, the zone is ending basically directly on top of them. They could do a lot of different things. One of them is look down and just pick off all of these 3 kills. Unfortunately for them, the kill is not really going in their favor. They just need to focus on the same time. There's just so many players, Tony, down low. They don't know who they want to focus. All these teams are just waiting to be picked off by Team Razor.
We're already...
Until Team Razor has to drop, and then they'll strike. We'll see exactly what the strategy is going to be. But one thing's for sure, they have to deal with this rat first.
That they do, and it looks like it's going to be dealt with immediately, because here comes the push, and that's going to be it. Only 2 squads remaining, and if you're wondering how Razor has always been in the top 4, it's because a high IQ play sitting above, now dropping down. That's going to be it. Razor are your champions of game.
It's not going to really get you anywhere now, especially with 2 legends, with tactical abilities that are going to show where you're at. But this is who I want to see. I want to see MKR coming through with the swiftness. One of our stronger team fighting teams here have not been able to get things going quite yet. As Knock, Rambo, and Madness are looking for some points over here on the outskirts of the map on that tree side.
If he hits that, I'm going to go insane.
Going for the Chihuahua shot right there, the little ankle biter. Not going to really land, though, as Rice Krispy Treats now with the Mastiff. This is what I love the Mastiff for, but there's tons of grenades sitting in the way. Clinical trying to get out of there. There's a nice R301 spray. Hip fire. Going to climb up over towards the top. There's the bait and switch coming.
Possibly.
Zipping up there would be absolutely crazy, but I think they may go for it. It's going to be a side jump pad instead. Big brain plays again coming out from Razor. They're eating a lot of damage, though. Hakulo is fairly weak. They're going to have to take out the wingman now since the Kim Chi Lee is the last one alive. He gets the knock. Hakulo's healing down below. They're going for a heal off. This is actually crazy. Hakulo will be able to pull it out. Kim Chi Lee's in his queue. I think that should be enough actually for Kim Chi to pull this one out. It's not. Razor. Welcome back everybody to Series E. We just wrapped up all 6 games. Let's go ahead and pull up that Mobile 1 leaderboard and find out just how much Team Razor won by, because I think we all kind of know if you were leading in game number 5 and then you win game number 6, well, what does math tell us? I think it tells us that they won. 92 points.
And there you have how all the action went down Tuesday night. We see Team Razor returning to the top of the table on an open night for the first time since week number 2, helping them close the gap a little bit on the overall standings. Meanwhile, Team Pringles came in 2nd place, and while they have yet to top the table on a single night this season, they continue to try and chase down Team Intel at the top of the standings. 6 partnered squads finished in the top 8 on Tuesday, which is the kind of performances you want to see. Now I want to talk about Phony a little bit here. We've been highlighting multiple players throughout this season. Mostly Mr. Hakulo and Verholst have been showing up very frequently due to the strong play from Razor and Intel so far this season, but Pringles continue to be consistent performers, and Phony seems to be really hitting his stride. On Tuesday night, he had 21 kills and 13 assists and averaged nearly 1,100 damage per game. It was an impressive performance from him and is the kind of thing we need to see consistently if Pringles wants to repeat as champions in Series E. His 79% kill participation was very impressive as well, getting in on 4 out of every 5 kills for Pringles on the night. Also, when you note that he only averaged 6.8 kills per night prior to Tuesday, and then more than tripled that average in a single night, it seems like Phony is returning to his Season 2 MVP form. We'll have to see if that can continue next week. Now, as we take a look at our open team standings, obviously all of these squads are battling for a secured spot in the next season of Series E. Asheras were a favorite coming into the start of the season and started very strong in the first couple of weeks. We haven't seen them, though, in a little while, and Sniper Meta over the last 2 weeks has now jumped to the top of these standings. Blight and Rolders, again, familiar names for us here at Series E, have this team moving along very well, and we'll have to see if they can keep things going in week number 6. Now on to Wednesday night, obviously Pro Night, and some of the best squads coming out to compete with our partner teams. No TSM this week due to Imperial Hal going on vacation, so a big name not on the table here. but still some great squads to compete against. Obviously, the Knights, coming off of a win last Wednesday, were looking to repeat, and G2 Esports, who dominated the first 3 Pro Nights of this season, were looking to return to form here tonight. Let's see how everything went down Wednesday night.
All right, welcome everybody to Series E. It is Cheez-It week, and it is now time for Pro Nights. Oh boy, on board with Team Applejacks right now. It's Protectful, the only one alive as he runs into another full squad. Just have to be careful. He does have that gold armor at the very least, and finds one more rat. He takes out Slurpee G. It has become an absolute mess here. It's looking like hey, we've been asking for. We finally got it here in Apex Legends.
Is it deathmatch or is it a ring around the rosy? Because that's what it's looking like right now. Gold bag res coming through. Cupsy's gonna get back this one. There's a Wraith coming around the corner. That's gonna be Mal.
It's looking like they're gonna go ahead and make the push forward. Try to pick up the extra 3 KP. Bubbles on either side, and Xset are about to hit the biggest queue of time as they do trade back and forth. Setup's going, taking one down as Gibby falls, and now Xset coming in to clean things up. They will.
For everybody to go and start playing that. As we take a look at what's going on with the Knights, and Bronzy's actually the first one to get dropped. That's gonna be by Lou.
We were wondering who's going to be challenging over here, and it's actually the Pittsburgh Knights. So 3 squads that like to drop here, but it's the Knights versus Sentinels right now. Setups gets finished off. Gilderson's with that L-Star, and it does so much work in the early game, but the Sentinels are not out quite yet. They're on the ropes, though, because they don't have any shields left as the Knights are looking to finish them off. There's the Thirst coming out from Asura as he takes out Lou, and it's now just all up to Cross left in a 1v2, but he's got an L-Star in his face. We'll go ahead and push that stairwell in just a moment. Catches the Wraith out, gets the instant crack, needs to hit one more pellet, and he does, and he trades away before he goes out. It's still a 2v1 advantage here for them as the armor swap does come in, but it's not going to take a little bit too long going for the reset there. They are going to get gate kept now. There's a squad right above them here, but Stunny is connecting with the massive shots right now. Takes out Mr. Hakilo, and that is going to be Team Razor in a 2v3, but they finally trade back. Zeratrick taking out one. We might already have a third party coming in as Team Razor are looking to clean this one up. There's the knock onto Stunny, but Hakilo is bleeding out. Baby Tooley's inside the... So it looks like Rockstar are just going to take a moment to reset here as Crummy needs to heal up along with Aves. What are these nades coming out from Aves? That is huge! Gets the knock onto Flanker. Nocturnal does answer back, but that means Liquid are down to just 1. This is going to allow G2 a moment to come in for the third party. They know that the trades are there. They know the teams that are involved. And here comes G2 now looking for the KP. They'll be able to finish off Timmy Lee. Can they punish Team Liquid, though?
What a job from G2. I mean, those grenades were amazing too, by the way. This opens things up big time, and now it looks like it's going to be Nocturnal as the last player from Team Liquid.
The off angle being set up by Designful. Here comes the flank as he tries to get the knock. They should be able to finish this off. They've got them stuck in a chasm, but Fury gets the knock on the Designful now, brought down to a 3v2, but the HP advantage is still there for a moment for G2. It's a bombardment just for good measure, but here comes G2 with the third party. The timing! How impeccable was that? They've got to be careful to lose out on one, and now they're the ones that
are rotating out of sorting and tree just like they did right there. Unfortunately, Razor was there to answer.
Cloud9 up at Epicenter right now, I think getting involved in the fight as they push for that res. They get the re-knock onto Joey Cherished, and Zach Mazer, with the help of Stay Naughty, will be able to take off backs on CLG, just down to 1 remaining here. Gonna get finished off in just a moment. Prowler. 1 damage nerf, by the way. It really does some serious gatekeeping. Yeah. It looked like Liquid rotated a little bit earlier on, and they did not fight for that top position. Leave that up as Pop-Tarts find themselves in a fight as they are forced out of that train tunnel. And we're up there. We're going to have a lot of ultimates here. And Liquid are just going for the full send onto the 2-man. On the other side, they don't trade anything. They do survive. Do they have a bubble to survive throughout all of this? Doesn't look quite like it. As Finicky now pushing up. They do get the knock at the very least. Flanker, the first one to fall, but Cheez-It losed out on one themselves. Here comes Finicky with the flank. Now it's all up to Mollis. We'll see in the 1v2 if he can clutch things up. Nocturnal's there on the high ground. Now, might Might actually just be a 1v1. Mollis gets peeked. It's the red Evo versus the purple. Mollis is on the wrong side of this fight as he's stuck on the reload animation, tries to climb up, and now Nocturnal will be able to finish him off to take advantage of them being stuck inside a position. Nice thermite gives them an idea of what they're fighting up against. And oh no, the blind peek as Skittle Cakes tries to punish that, but he realizes the 2v1 peek is a little bit too strong. Verholst and Dupe were behind them, but what a quick turnaround from Xset, getting the knock onto Dupe, and oh boy, this time around, Xset will be able to get the team fight win ultimately, but this fight took a little bit longer than
at the, you know, in the backside, you're like, are they farming us? Are they actually farming us right now? Oh, we have our first fight actually taking place close to where the zone's going to be, and it's going to be RKT and Lystar Joe trying to survive over here. I can't believe that they're actually sending it onto Era like this. Era probably said, you can't sneak underneath our building like this. We're going to come through.
Be the big real estate here, and they have plenty to work with. G2 trying to pressure the south side of the zone. They've got to be careful with the defensive bombardment going down, but they do have a bubble that does get infiltrated by a player for now, but Designful is just hitting such good shots. Malice Mamba gets taken out, but G2 are getting punished. Gentrifying's the only one left alive, and he was not able to port his squad out, and he's just out in the middle of nowhere. Cheez-It picking that one up. Another top finish for Cheez-It here. This time around, though, they've got kill points to follow it up as well. Nice Syracuse gives them full information as they push up onto the squad. The final squad remaining here, and they're going to be able to finish off Cloud9. Team Cheez-It here for Cheez-It Week. We'll take game number. It's a little bit different, but it does seem like they do have them pinned down with these nades. Rack's taking a lot of damage here, but they can trade away. Z Davis now in line pushing up. They got the knock on to Kupski here. It's going to be the 2v3 fight for them as Blueberry Smalls does take out Z Davis, and now it's down to a 1v1. Rack and Issue does clutch up, taking out Applejack's Keith
and hunting them down on the other side. This building has been such a spot of contention, and again, it really didn't have to be. Applejacks was sitting up on top of the bridge, and they were looking strong, but then they fall to Pop-Tarts, and now there's another team there as well.
Yeah, Rack and Issue keeping them alive for now as he's going in for the peak. It's a 2v2 right now, brought down to a 2v1. A moment of reprieve behind this blue bin. Early fort being set up, but the nades are forcing them out. Results of bleeding down. He's actually going to get hit by that Fuse ultimate as well. He might have just bled as Team Liquid dropped down for the full push onto G2 to finish them off. They get the clean sweep onto them as you have Team Intel on the other side taking advantage. Verholst to get first knock onto Nocturnal. It's going to be a 3v1 and Team Intel sneak away onto the low. Good damage coming across though. He does get a connect. Another one with the defensive bombardment, but can they push up for the high? Here they go. Full 3 out into that elevator shaft, forcing them through that bubble now as they've got the fight on the right and on the left. Pushing in, and it's going to be the knock onto Crummy here, and it is the Rockstar. Kimchi Lee going down.
Just about getting him over towards that late game to see what kind of opportunities you can get. C9 finds some more fights over towards the side though. They are full sending this one. The spray, the aggression is just so strong. They're not. If that's the case, they're gonna have to bubble on their own, and then they're gonna use that bubble on the other side. Big shots coming in from Fury. Pringles is loving what they're seeing right now. All of the action is directly in front of them. They have this game in the bag if they can just finish off the rest of these shots. Saucer is fairly weak over towards the side. There's a spray coming in from Presley. Knox coming in here very shortly as there's 2 there.
All right, welcome back, guys, to Series E as we are about to announce the winners. We've had a pretty close race all night long. Cloud9 found themselves in first place before heading into the last game. They had a pretty top performance with a lot of kills behind it. Wasn't enough to secure the victory. Let's go ahead and take a look at the Mobile One leaderboard to see who walked away with the victory in Cloud.
Wednesday night had a tight finish, as you just saw, and Cloud9, in fact, comes out in first place despite not winning a game. Not something that we commonly see here in Series E, but Cloud9 was just very, very consistent and grabbed the victory by 7 points. And G2 Esports does end up taking the tiebreaker and grab second place over Team Pringles, though still a good performance from that team. Now, as we look at our overall standings for our partner squads, Team Intel still holds on to first place, but the gap has closed. Just 39 points separate themselves and Team Pringles right now. And with things getting later in the season, it's getting much tighter on the standings. As you can see, last place Rice Krispies Treats is less than 100 points away from 4th place Team Pop-Tarts. The only real significant gap sits between Razor and Pop-Tarts right now, as Razor actually has a 101 point lead over the 4th place squad. So there seems to be two very separate tiers in Series E right now. But getting to see teams like Rice Krispies Treats and others starting to get their feet under them in Series E and performing and closing the gap is very promising. Now, if you watched the show on Wednesday night, I discussed our partnered squads and their performances so far this season on Wednesday nights. And when comparing them against Season 2's teams, the squads this season have performed 4 points worse on average through the first 4 weeks. But two squads that I think could push the Series E squads to more success on Wednesday nights is Team Pringles and Team Cheez-It. You can see their stats on your screen right now from the most recent performance. 26 kills for Team Pringles and an average of 2,500 damage a game for the team had them looking strong, and obviously they ended up tied for second with G2 Esports. They took one game and averaged 5.33 in placement throughout the night. That's a strong performance from Team Pringles. Meanwhile, on the other side, Team Cheez-It did jump into the top 10 as well. And while their kill numbers are low, sitting with 9, and below 2,000 damage per game, they still were able to grab a game win, and with that 7th average placement over the night, they were consistently finding their way into late circles and getting late in games. Now, if Team Cheez-It can just figure out some more of those early fights and start putting more kill points up on the board, I think they are certainly a contender to compete every Wednesday night. Now, next week in Series E will be Pop-Tarts week, and we will be hitting the halfway mark of the season. 12 weeks in all. We will compete in week 6 in the next week, and it's going to be a very interesting competition. A lot of teams in Series E on the rise and trying to make their mark this season. Personally, when I look at open night on Tuesday, I'm taking Team Pringles to keep on rolling. Phony, again, seems to be hitting his stride, and I think this team is poised to finally take back first place in Series E. They're trying to have a repeat championship this season, and it should all start in week number 6. As we head into Wednesday, Cloud9 finally gets their first top placing of the season. Meanwhile, G2 Esports looks strong as they jump into the top 2 once again. It's a tough choice, but I think I'm going to have to go with Cloud9, who seems to finally be getting their legs under them with this new roster. I think they're going to be a significant threat in future tournaments, and I'm taking Cloud9 for the back-to-back. Make sure to tune in to all the week's action here at twitch.tv/esportsarena. Again, on Tuesday and Wednesday nights, we kick off at 4 p.m. Pacific time right here. All right, folks, now for one of my favorite segments of the show, and that's What's Up Apex Twitter. I try to keep my finger on the pulse of what the community is talking about on a week-to-week basis. And while the discussion has been a little scattered over the last week, I did find something that I do want to talk about and highlight here. Our old friend Farmer Lucas, now playing for Team Noble, has been streaming a lot lately, and I've been enjoying his content as well as his community. And there is a fantastic clip from his stream on Wednesday that I want to show you all. Lucas recently hit a sub goal for this month, and his reward for the community was putting on some overalls and a good old cowboy hat and going full farmer style for his stream. He's looking good over here, and definitely love seeing Lucas doing well on his streams and in tournaments. Obviously, always enjoyed interacting with him when he was a Series E Pro for Team Pop-Tarts last season, and we're looking forward to more great things from Farmer Lucas and his squad in the future. So best of luck to him, and please make sure to go out and support our good old boy. He's Farmer Lucas on Twitch. Now let's take a look at the Apex competitive scene as a whole. We start with the Nerd Street Gamers Summer Championship that finished up over the last week. Era Eternity, a squad that formerly played as Team Rice Krispies Treats in Series E, was able to take first place, and they have been on the rise over the last few weeks. They've been showing better placings on Wednesday Pro Nights, and now it really pays off with the win in the Nerd Street Gamers tournament. Finishing up in second and third place was Space Station Gaming and Knights as well, who continue to be on the rise. Meanwhile, of our partnered squads, Team Cheez-It grabbed fourth place, and Team Splash finished in 15th. We'll have to see if those squads can keep these performances up in tournaments outside of Series E. Now in some roster news, we had some big drops over the last week. Madness is actually leaving CLG. This is a big-time player in a big-time squad that is making a huge change. We actually got to see a bit of a tease of a possible new roster on Tuesday night for Open Night. Madness competed with Noct, formerly of C9, and Rambo, who interestingly enough is also leaving XSET. Rambo stated on Twitter that it just wasn't the best fit for him on the team and is looking for more new opportunities. A future squad of Madness, Noct, and Rambo could be a very talented squad, and I would certainly love to see it. The little sneak preview we got on Tuesday was definitely a blast, and I'm definitely keeping an eye on those three as the future continues. Now, in more general Apex Legends news, I want to talk about how Apex Legends has been doing on Twitch. Since the release of Season 10, Apex has been absolutely popping off on the world's biggest streaming platform. Apex has been the most streamed game with 1.1 million hours streamed since the release of Season 10. It has also been the most watched Battle Royale with 23 million watch hours, has the highest average viewership of any Battle Royale, and peaked at 414,000 viewers. We absolutely love to see Apex not even close to its peak yet. The future certainly looks bright with names like Courage, Tim the Tatman, Nick Merckx, and more coming into the Apex scene, as I have talked before on the show, and I'm looking forward to seeing what comes next for Apex Legends. Big shout out to @AlphaIntel on Twitter for giving us these stats. Now for our last segment of the night, I had the pleasure of sitting down with Finicky, one of our Cheez-It Pro players, on Wednesday night during their Pro Night competition. He and I discussed his performance so far this season and the squad's outlook on the rest of Season 3. Let's check out what he had to say.
Refreshingly sweet, but without sugar, 0 calorie treat. They're all our top flavored splash. It's fruit freshing.
Imagine you love frosting and filling.
I do love frosting and filling.
Oh, well, imagine if there was a way to enjoy that delicious goodness anywhere, anytime, out of the toaster, out of the box, out of one of those baggy thingies, with nothing but a thin layer of foil between you and...
Pasta.
Yes, Curtis. This is a commercial about pasta.
I love it.
Frosting and filling for your pasta.
I like pesto.
I wasn't born in the spotlight. Nah. Had to grind and shine like a star on a hot night. And something about the struggle now resides in my muscles. And every trial and trouble helped to hang my hustle. Real rock stars don't chase the spotlight. It chases them.
have a very special guest here joining me in Studio Blue for an interview. I've got Finicky from Team Cheez-It. Finicky, welcome, my friend. Thanks so much for joining me.
Thank you. A little bit of a rough ending there, but
yeah,
what it is.
So my first question, talk to me about the end of that game. What was kind of going through your head? What are your thoughts on how things finished off there?
We just had a little bit of miscommunication at the end on what we exactly were gonna do and who was doing what and all that sort of stuff, but something that we can get cleaned up. It's like one of those we're like a few small mistakes away from just really excelling.
Okay. Now, before I go further into your experience kind of in the server this season, I want to talk about kind of your general experience with Series Z so far. We've been seeing throughout the week a bunch of ads with you and your teammates talking about Cheez-It, talking about your play. What has it been like for you now going from just playing the game to now you're in ads, you're coming to sit down with interviews for interviews with me on the show? How has this all been like for you, this whole experience?
Oh, it's been good. I appreciate Series Z and everything that you guys have been able to do for us, and I think it definitely benefits us as a team. Like, we're able to get professional play. We're able to get as much experience that like at the highest level that we possibly can. So I appreciate it a lot.
Okay, so now I want to go to the play that you guys have had so far. It has been an interesting season through now almost 5 weeks. You guys are kind of slowly chugging your way up the standings. I personally, have to admit, I had you guys ranked at the bottom of my power rankings coming into the season, and I'm happy to admit I was very wrong. You guys have been a much better team than I expected. In fact, you are our second best partnered squad in terms of Pro Night performance, just behind Team Intel. What has it been like for you on Wednesday nights, and why do you feel like you guys have been able to have some of the best success of our partnered squads?
Yeah, I think open nights are a little bit more frustrating for us just because it doesn't feel like it's like played out as best as it possibly can for pro type of stuff, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like with pro nights, everybody knows and has a grasp on what they're wanting to do, and I think since we feel like we play better in those lobbies, we just have a better grasp, I think, at the pro night level with rotates and where we expect people to be, and not just like full inting everything.
Okay. 3 games left for you guys tonight. I obviously get the insider information, so I know you guys are sitting at 19 points right now, 9th place with 3 games to go. What do you need to see from you guys in these last 3 games to try and grab that top spot?
Good question. I think we just need to keep getting in the spots that we're in. We just need to capitalize and get the kills that are like brought to us. Not really. We just need the game to come to us and not necessarily force anything else.
All right. Well, we saw a bit of it there in Game 3. Strong finish. Looking forward to see what you guys do the rest of the day. So thanks so much for joining me. Best of luck the rest of the night. That was Finicky, ladies and gentlemen, of Team Cheez-It, joining me there. Awesome to get to hang out with Finicky there. Again, a big thank you to him for giving us some of his time during a busy competitive night in Apex. That's going to do it for our show, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you enjoyed a look at Series Z and the Apex scene as a whole here on Final Circle. As always, if you want to get in on the discussion yourself, feel free to reach out to me on Twitter. I am at Caster Y4SO. That's going to be all for us. Make sure to tune in next week for Pop-Tarts Week here on Series Z. Again, 4 p.m. Pacific time, Tuesday and Wednesday night. And Final Circle will be back once again next Friday at 5 p.m. Pacific right here at twitch.tv/esportsarena. Thanks so much for joining us. We'll see you again next time.
Hey, shake it, kiddo. Love Dad. Whoa.
I've got this. Kellogg's Rice Krispies Treats. A little love when it's needed.
Kellogg's, Fruit Loops, Apple Jacks, Corn Pops, Tiger Paws. They're Jumbo.
Jumbo snacks, snack time heroes. Don't take them on the go. Eat your cereal, magnified, showing up for snacking time.
Jumbo. It's for snacking. It's Jumbo Snacks.
Cheez-It snapped. How's it taste? It's so thin, crispy, and cheesy. And I just want to keep eating it. And eating it. I love them.
Snapped. So good we may run out of cheese.
Stack Pringles flavors. Make new ones.
How much do you think Pringles paid these people?
Hardly anything. Hey, you guys want to stack different Pringles flavors to create new flavor combos? Here, I'll go first. Pizza, barbecue, and jalapeno. The spicy barbecue pizza stack. Get him!
Grandpa, what's going on?
Pringles. We're trapped in a Pringles commercial. They must have taken us in our sleep.
How can we get out?
We can't, Summer. They warned me this would happen, and I didn't listen. Stack Pringles, make endless new flavors. Stacking Pringles to make new flavors. Make endless new flavors. Barbecue, wavy, and sour cream and onion equals a 3-layer dip stack.